Today we will show you how to install two sliding doors. Although there are several mounting arrangements, we will focus on disposition number 10, which contains two sliding doors for a wardrobe. Included with the doors, you will have a valance, you will have rails, you will have the stop brakes, you will have the carts, the pivots, and of course the doors. The equipment we'll need for installation of the doors that is not included are Phillips screwdriver, measuring tape, marker pen, metric Allen keys, regular key tools, 10, 15, and 17 millimeters, and 1.5 inch screws, and of course a drill. Included on the valance are attachment clips installed at every 16 inches. The clips might fall off during transportation. In this case, if you find a clip like this one in the box, take the clip and install it by holding the small pointed side up. Insert the clip here and slide it inside the valance at every 16 inches. Once the clips are installed, the valance can be installed here. Now, you need to press firmly on the clips so that they insert correctly. You should hear a click, like a clicking sound. That means once it's well click, goes firm, the valance is now installed. Now we need to install the rails. Since we have two doors, there are two rails that need to be installed back to back. It is important to take our measurements before setting the rails. Since the valance goes in the front of the rails, we suggest installing the valance first to ensure that measurements are good. Then you remove it to install the rails. I will ask a colleague to come and help me to take the measurement. You must take the rail and its valance and place them along the wall. It is possible to place the rail flush or set back according to your needs. Once the rail and the valance are at the desired position, mark the back where the rail should be installed and then remove the valance. Do the same procedure to identify the rail position on the other side of the rail. So you mark the rail. To remove the valance, pull the valance like this and it will separate automatically. Now to install the rails, it is easier if you can get the help of someone to hold the rails while you put the screws in. You need to make pre-drill holes using your drill to facilitate screwing the rail into the wall. Now you can verify with the measurement taken previously if the rail is in the right place, and if so, you can mount the rail using screws. Second screw. Once you're done, you can verify again if the rail is aligned with the measurement. Then take the second rail and put it against the back of the first rail. It is not necessary to take measurements for the second rail. Just lean it against the back of the other rail. And then insert the screw. And that's the second screw. And you're done. Now that we have installed the rails, we will install the top rollers on the doors. To install the top rollers, you simply screw them into the holes purposely located for them on the top of the doors. You must keep a distance of approximately ½ inch to 5/8 of an inch as a temporary adjustment. Once the door will be placed, we will make the final adjustment to adjust the height of the door correctly. You can then install the second rollers. The next step is to measure the center of the opening. Our opening here is 60 inches wide. So we take the center of the opening, which in our case is 30 inches, and then we make a mark on the ground for the pivot. Before installing the doors, make sure to move the door stoppers back toward the ends. Like this. You do the other end. There you go. Now we are ready to install the door. Unlike many doors, these doors do not need to be at an angle to enter the rollers into the rail. Simply place the roller forward up to the right height and set the door down into the rail. Then move it back to the end of the opening. Take a marker pen and mark the middle of the door on the floor. The crossing of the two marks shows the pivot position. Once this is done, remove the door. At the crossing of the centers, we marked where we marked on the floor, drill a hole and insert the pivot with the 17mm key. As you see here, it is normal that the pivot is not straight to allow adjustment on the floor. The first pivot is now installed. We now have to install the second pivot. You have to calculate 2 inches from the center and make a small hole if necessary. Then you start screwing in the pivot as much as possible before using the 17mm key. Once the pivots are in place, we are ready to install the doors. We have to begin with the back door. First thing, you must place the door on the pivot. Once it is on the pivot, you raise the door a little bit and hang it on the rail. Then take the other door. Same thing, you place it on the pivot and you lift it a little bit into the rail. Both doors are in place, but there are still some adjustments that will need to be made. Before making the final adjustment, it is very important to install the anti-derailment guides to prevent the doors from falling off the rail. We can see here that the anti-derailment guides are placed horizontally. With a 10mm key, loosen the guide slightly and put it to the vertical position and tighten it into place. We must leave about a millimeter gap to prevent friction. Repeat the procedure for the other anti-derailment guide. Still leave about a millimeter up to avoid friction. Tighten, and we're done. Now slide the doors from one side to the other to ensure that there is no friction. Once the doors are secured with anti-derailment guides, it is time to proceed to the vertical adjustment. Close the door and verify how they fit along the wall. In our case, we can notice there is a gap at the top of the door and there is none at the bottom. This means that the door is leaning to one side. So we can either move the door slightly down on the left side or raise it slightly up on the right side. In our case, we will move it up on the right side. Using a 15mm key, loosen the safety bolt. Once unscrewed, take a 17mm key and tighten its screw to raise the door. As you raise the door, look on your left to see how the door looks with the wall as you proceed. There you go. The door is now well adjusted. Once adjusted, retighten safety bolt back and screw with the 15mm key. Now that the doors are secure, we will proceed to the adjustment of the stop brakes. Push the door to the end, take the stop brake and move it on the roller. Once in place, take a screwdriver and screw the stop brake. You do both screws. Then take the 2.5 Allen key in order to fix the stop brake. Choose the brake tension you want, and once you have decided what tension exactly you want, you simply use the Allen key and screw it. Now do the other way around. I did not do the right way first. There you go. Once done, quick test. There you go. Before installing the valance, we will do some final test. on both sides. There's the brake. Perfect. Now make sure that the clips on the valance are placed every 16 inches apart. Place the valance on the rail and push on the clips until they insert correctly. Push hard. Sure it's in there. Perfect. Now we have a beautiful and functional sliding door installed.